Welcome to Deep Thought. Prodigies can live lonely lives. Prodigies can live lonely lives. Now, yeah, you're probably like, damn, Rom, ain't talking about big picture or keeping it, paying attention to everything going on. You know how I do on Deep Thought. Something just hit me and I was like, oh, okay. I was having to think about prodigies, and actually that's something close to me because my co-parent would be considered a prodigy. She skipped some grades when she was young. And one of the things I've noticed with prodigies, they can live lonely lives. And it's interesting. You would think, well, no, they're prodigies. They're smart. They going to school early. They're good and everything. Yeah, they have that talent. But they live lonely lives for one simple reason. They're smarter than the average person. In fact, I saw a video, and I should have saved the video, but I didn't. But it was about some parents. They had a prodigy. They had a smart child, but they didn't skip him. They didn't skip his grade or anything. They ain't put him in, let him go to college. They let him be with everyone else. And that was actually smart on their part because they realized the young prodigy still had to deal with people, because it really is a case of prodigies, right? It really is a case that they can live lonely lives because they thinking differently. If everybody else, you got everybody else, playing whatever games that some young people play, while this prodigy might be a math genius or reading like some books on a higher level. Shoot, I can relate to that in a bit, because when I was in the 6th grade, my reading level was on a graduate school level. And so I can understand that. Only difference with me, though, I ain't skipped grades, and I can still hang out and play football or tag or whatever around the kids. But everybody's not like that. Because once you think about a prodigy for a second, they literally are thinking differently, And it could be academic prodigy, it could be a music prodigy. They're different from those at their level, at their age level. A lot of them might try to have to deal with people at a higher level and everything, but it's not the same. A 12-year-old might have trouble dealing with some 20-year-olds. And in fact, I shouldn't even say might, they will. Because that 20-year-old's looking at life a certain way. That 20-year-old might not be living at home with mommy and daddy. Might not be living at home. Shoot, that just as an aside, that's a whole other thing. You got a lot of young people moving back home. Maybe I'll talk about that in the future or something. But you got a lot. They're looking at it different. They're looking at relationships. You got some prodigies. They haven't hit puberty yet. They hadn't hit puberty yet they might be in a situation where the only people who can really deal with them, talking about relationships just as much. In fact, a mentor had said that about young ladies when they hit puberty or something. They could be A students, then they hit puberty, all of a sudden they should forget that A student. They forget all that stuff. They want to put on that nice dress and everything, or tight pants or something, get that young alpha male or something. But before they even get to that point. And in fact, what I've seen and the stories I've heard is when they're real smart when they're young, but then, they'll hit puberty, other aspects of life hit in. Because one thing, when we're talking about intelligence, it's more than just academic intelligence or being able to play a music real well. You can have social intelligence. You have some people, and you've met people like that. Yeah, there are people like that, right? There's some people who, they might not be the best academic student or have particular talent, but they social They are social. They can get along with people. And there's an argument there for that being an intelligence. In fact, with people who deal with multiple intelligences, they will list social intelligence. But see, that's not seen as a prodigy. That's just seen, let's just be real, someone like that is just seen as someone who can get along with people, you know? They definitely wouldn't be lonely. But when you're talking about prodigies, you know, someone's real intelligent, they test well, have a high IQ score or something, it can be tough. It can be tough because it's very rare they're going to have that social intelligence. So, you know, it might be hard getting along with people. It might be hard talking with people around their own age. And then what I say earlier about them trying to deal with someone older than them. They're in a lonely place. They can be in a lonely place. And that can really mess them up because, yeah, it's good that they're intelligent and everything, but usually what happens is it's rare that they grow older and they can still do well. In fact, my co-parent, she was telling me about someone she went to school with who was highly intelligent, but then as soon as she got out of school, wasn't doing as well. Because see, one thing too, I had mentioned the social intelligence. One thing, just going through life, you really have to still deal with other people. I don't care who you are, you know, one way or the other. You know, it could be for business or just getting along or, you know, just going in a grocery store or something. Just going in a grocery store, you still got to navigate with other people. You still have to know how to say, excuse me, and, you know, all of that. You know, you still have to deal with the cashier or you might have to deal with someone looking for somebody. You still got to deal with other people. You know, yeah, you have that intelligence, but, you know, you're a prodigy at everything, but, you know, you still going to have to deal with people who may not have that same IQ score. And, you know, it can be tough for them. It can be really tough, you know. You know, those parents who said they weren't going to skip their child, that's actually smart. That's actually smart because they see the bigger picture with it. They see the bigger picture. They realize, hey, you know, yeah, my child is smart, our child is smart, but he still has to deal with people. He still has to learn those skills, those relationship skills. In fact, I'm going to tell you how deep those relationship skills are. When you talk about relationships, male-female relationships, there's a lot of men, mostly men, some women too, but a lot of men who really don't have those social skills. That's how important it is. Yeah, you might have that intellect. Yeah, you might have that. You might could do well on that score, but really so much is done through networking and socializing and everything, you know, on so many levels. And it's something to think about. It's something, and once again, you know how I do. It's something to think about. Because I've known a few prodigies. I've known quite a few. And it's always the same thing. Trouble dealing with folks, you know? So anyway, they can live lonely lives. So anyway, y'all, that's all I have for today. As always, something to think about. Anyway, I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.